How's it going, guys? It's PoetryStud here with Poetic Rants. I'm proud to present to you the first episode of my new series. If you haven't heard already, Poetic Rants is my series where I'll be ranting about gaming and non-gaming related topics for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 episodes. So basically, I'm going to be talking about whatever you guys want. If you didn't know already, I made a couple videos about this already. So it's going to be driven by you guys. So the first topic is going to be one of my choosing, however. I know that I want to be choosing topics that you guys suggest to me, and you can go leave one of those comments right now with a topic in it, and I will use it. But I do want to start the first one off with one of my own topics. And that topic is going to be the games of 2014. I figured, it's still early on in 2015, and I never did a video about the games last year. And I wanted to do one because I think it's interesting. And personally, I think that it's worth noting that the games of last year, at least in my opinion, did not live up to what I think gaming should be. So, the games of last year, I felt, had a lot of issues. One of these was just the quality of the games versus the hype associated with them. That's really the big issue that I have with the gaming industry as a whole right now. I think that lots of companies are just having that problem that they're hyping their games and then not delivering on even like the minimum promises. So the first game I want to talk about that came out in 2014, I'm starting to talk a little fast here, don't want to run out of time. The first one was the what do I have? Oh, I have a list here, I forgot. Is Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity was riddled with issues on launch, from bugs to having way too much unlockable but locked content that you had to buy, micro purchases as they're called, and that's just not cool to have to buy games from a AAA game that costs $50 already to unlock everything. I think that's just lame. Yeah, and that was one example. The multiplayer also had some bugs. Another game that had really bad multiplayer issues right off the launch was the Master Chief Collection. 343 Industries, they bought Halo a couple years ago, released Halo 4, and then they did Halo Master Chief Collection with the first 4 Halos. But the multiplayer was just broken, and it still is to this day. I haven't played it, actually. I didn't buy it, but I know people who have it, and they said that it's just broken. And that's really not cool if you're going to buy a game, 4 games actually, and they have the company not deliver on the promises. That's not something you want to see in the gaming market. I mean, that's the first sign of like just people wanting just money, I've talked about this stuff before when I ranted about early access games in my actual Call of Duty series, but it's the same thing though. Like, I'm starting to yell now, I realize. But it's the same thing, I don't know. I could go on for hours about this. I do think there were some good games. I think that Nintendo had a really good year with the release of Super Smash Bros., the new one. They had a really good year. I think that lots of people loved Nintendo's releases this year, which is really good for them. However, at the same time, I think Nintendo kind of had a bad thing go on with YouTube. I saw it coming. YouTube, they made a rule now where you cannot upload Nintendo games to YouTube unless you only do Nintendo videos, and you get only a split percentage of the profits, more than YouTube does. I think I'm dropping frames, guys, and I'm sorry about that. I have OBS up in the corner. I'm sorry about that. I hope my commentary can make up for the bad video quality. Been having a lot of issues lately. Anyways, Nintendo, they did this with YouTube, and that's made it so that it's hard for YouTubers to play Nintendo games. It's almost impossible, actually, if you want to make a living off of it. And that's just not good. I think the only reason that Nintendo has been able to do it is because they have such nostalgia with it. And actually, the reason I found out about this was from a podcast that Northern Lion did. And yeah, they were talking about how the gaming, what am I talking about? The Nintendo, they have had such a huge role in gaming since, the past couple decades they have. And that's why they can pull off stuff like this. Normally, a company like EA, if they tried to do this, they would get torn to shreds. But there's so much nostalgia. I died twice to that. There's so much nostalgia and so much of a fan base with Nintendo that they can get away with it, which is not a good thing. They shouldn't be able to get away with it, I think. Not gonna get me. Yeah, I remembered. So anyways, I think that the gaming industry had a bad year last year. There were games like Destiny that I think lived up. I really love Destiny. I thought it was a great game. I do not think it lived up to all the hype they put on it, but I do think it lived up to lots of the hype. It wasn't as terrible as lots of people said. However, I do think that it wasn't revolutionary like lots of gaming magazines hyped it up to be. It was not like the next gaming genre. It was just another first-person shooter. Albeit a little bit of a irregular one. I really liked it. It was unique, but I don't think it was like a revolutionary idea. Or maybe it was, but not a revolutionary game in itself. I do not think that it had such of an effect on the market as they thought it would. I don't think it's very controversial to say that. I think most people would agree with me. And that, like I said, I really loved it. It's just not all it was hyped up to be. So, let's see, I had another game too. Oh yeah, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare came out, and I think that was one of the better releases. I haven't played it. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, as you probably all know, even though I'm playing Call of Duty right now. Or just ignore that. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, but most people that I know that play the game really love Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is pretty good. I'm glad that they delivered. It seems like maybe I just heard from a group of people that were weird and liked it when most people didn't. I don't know, but anyways, that's gonna be it for this episode. Leave your comment with your thoughts. Also, leave a comment with your idea for a topic. I'm gonna upload this video to YouTube. This is like my 7th time recording this because of video issues. I cannot wait another time. There might be some skip frames. I hope you guys enjoyed it, though. Terrible match, by the way. But anyways, yeah, like I said, go ahead and leave a comment with an idea for a topic. Leave a like. Go ahead and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in episode 2.